Hello, everyone, and welcome. Good afternoon for anyone who doesn't know me, and I suspect most of you do. My name is James Herbert. I'm the president of UNE, and welcome to UNE's annual event honoring the life and the work of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This gathering represents really one of the highlights of the academic year here at UNE, and I'm really happy that everyone could join us. And I'd also like to welcome the members of our community who are watching on the live stream from our Portland campus as well as from our campus in Tangier, Morocco. So welcome to all of you as well. And I want to offer a special welcome to our four panelists today, whom we'll be learning more about shortly. We're deeply honored to have each of you with us today, so thank you so much for coming out and spending your time with us. Each of you, in your own way, makes an important difference in your community and serves as a role model for the rest of us. And we look forward to learning from your wisdom. So again, thank you very much for joining us. So today we commemorate the historic visit of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who came to this campus in 1964. Nearly 59 years ago, Dr. King spoke right here on the grounds of our precursor institution, St. Francis College. This was less than a year after his famous I Have a Dream speech, and it marked his only visit to Maine. In that same year, he would win the Nobel Prize and be named Time Magazine's Man of the Year. Arriving in Biddeford on a beautiful day in early May, Dr. King found an overflow crowd awaiting him in the DeCary Gym. He spoke about the dire need to end racial segregation. He spoke about the racialized inequality in America and the need to ensure that all Americans had equal opportunity to lead happy, successful lives. He spoke of his dream, his aspiration, that America might one day be a truly colorblind society in which the color of one's skin is irrelevant to one's legal or political status or one's socioeconomic opportunities. He encouraged students and all people of good faith to stand up and make a difference in their home communities. Dr. King deeply inspired the people he met that day, and his work continues to inspire us today. We are very proud to carry forward his mission, encouraging UNE students to engage within their communities in the continuing fight for justice and equality. Our Biddeford campus has changed over the past 59 years, but our devotion to inclusion, diversity, fairness, and justice has not wavered. Through the generations, we've built a consistent identity of extending educational opportunities to those marginalized by society. Indeed, this commitment dates back to our earliest days. St. Francis College welcomed Franco-Americans at a time when these immigrants were often excluded from college classrooms, and in fact, from even high school classrooms. During the 1960s, it hosted a series of symposia on racial equality, sponsoring events like the one that brought Dr. King to campus. Meanwhile, Westbrook College, our precursor institution in Portland, was founded as a coeducational seminary at a time when very few colleges admitted women, back in 1831. Through the years, these institutions served as powerful advocates for inclusivity, equality, and justice. Then eventually, UNE and Westbrook merged to create the university that we know today. We're proud to carry forward these fundamental values of our forebearer institutions. We live in a diverse society, and we want our community to reflect that richness of that diversity. But sadly, there remains much work ahead of us to fully achieve Dr. King's vision. Racism and discrimination still show up far too often. And even when current discriminatory practices are no longer operative, the lingering consequences of past racist practices continue to stain our society. So while we celebrate the tremendous advances towards racial justice since Dr. King's remarkable life, we must avoid complacency. We must not let down our guard. At UNE, our commitment to these values remains steadfast. Our admissions team works tirelessly to ensure our student recruitment efforts reach the broadest possible demographic of students. And in recent years, we've attracted incoming classes of increasingly diverse students. In fact, this past fall's incoming class was one of the most diverse, ethnically, racially, socioeconomically, and geographically in UNE's history. We work equally hard to ensure our campus climate is welcoming and supportive of all students, and indeed of all community members. These commitments are codified in our strategic plan, which makes a welcoming, inclusive, and vibrant community one of UNE's key strategic priorities. I hope that today's event will leave you inspired and empowered to do your part to create the more just society that Dr. King envisioned. It's still a tall hill to climb, but inspired by the wisdom of Dr. King and the righteousness of the cause lighting our way, it is surmountable. It's my pleasure now to introduce UNE's Director of Intercultural Student Engagement, my colleague and friend, Andrea Paredes. So thanks to Andrea's hard work, we've been able to put together today's event. Please join me in welcoming Andrea.